We're not talking about godly on our side kasi self-serving yon. Ang sinasabi natin, hindi siguro tama sabihin na sa likod ko ang Panginoon, na sa likod ng kalaban ko yung Panginoon, nandun yung Panginoon sa 11, na dito yung Panginoon sa 13. I think safe na sabihin na ang Panginoon ay Panginoon ng katotohanan. So dapat doon tayo sa Panginoon. What I'm saying...
Amen! Ganyan talaga pag ikaw ang legitimate, legal at moral. Top 5 news this week, May 31 to June 6. You guessed it, Senate Flix Week 4. But before that, number 5. Dalawang top elected official na dawit sa flood control mess pinananagot na ng justice system. They are former House Speaker and still Leyte Congressman Martin Romualdez and Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Kanselado na ng US Embassy ang diplomatic at tourist/business visas ni Romualdez. Tila lumiliit na ang mundo para sa pinsan ng Pangulo na ayon sa investigative reports ng Rappler ay may high-end properties sa Soto Grande, Spain at sa Massachusetts, USA. At marami pang iba. TLDR. Nitong Miyerkules lang nabigo si Romualdez na malift ang precautionary whole departure order na ipinataw sa kanya ng Sandigan Bayan. Sabi kasi ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla, Romualdez has a high probability of flight. Starring din ngayong linggo si Senator Jinggoy Estrada na may distinction na makasuhan 3 beses ng plunder. Yung una may kinalaman sa wetting operations, yung pangalawa sa pork barrel scam naman. Inaresto siya nitong Lunes, June 1 sa Senado habang lumuluha ang mga kapwa niyang senador sa Cayetano Block. Mapayapa naman siyang sumuko. Pero bago yon, nakapag-press con pa siya. O, di ba? Iba na talaga pag powerful. Nakakulong ngayon si Jinggoy Estrada sa Payatas Jail. Humarap siya sa korte nitong Huwebes sa arraignment ng kaso niya but he refused to enter a plea. So yung korte ang nag-enter ng not guilty plea para sa kanya. This paves the way for the case to go to trial. Itong third round niya with plunder and graft cases ay dahil sa umano'y pagtanggap niya ng 573 million pesos in kickbacks from flood control projects. Kasama sa mga kaso si former Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan. Sa mga inip ng may managot sa ingranding nakawan na nangyari sa flood control projects, well yes, the wheels of justice grind exceedingly slow, pero ayan, gumugulong naman na. Okay, number 4. Matapos maaresto si Estrada, hindi na tumuloy sa trabaho nung Monday yung Cayetano Block, which was still nominally the Senate majority at that point. Hindi sila sumipot sa plenary session that afternoon. Dumating pa rin ang Nooy Minority Block pero namuti ang mata nila kahihintay. They couldn't hold session dahil wala silang quorum. 11 lang sila nun. And adding insult to injury, pinatayan sila ng aircon at wifi habang naghihintay sa session hall. He never admitted it but this is classic Alan Peter Cayetano. Ginawa niya to nung tinatanggal siyang House Speaker nung 2020. And besides, sino pa ba ang pwedeng mag-utos sa building admin kundi ang Senate President? Anyway, at 6:24 PM that day, nag-post si Cayetano ng message sa official Facebook account niya. Doon hinimok niya yung Nooy minority to let the Senate go quiet kasi raw threatened ang independence ng Senado. So through this, pineframe niya yung pag-aresto kay Estrada as an attack on the Senate by the executive, aka ni President Marcos, at yung pag-aawol nila as a form of protest. So wait, ina-assert niya ang independence ng Senate by effectively shutting down the Senate. A more commonsensical view is since nakulong na si Estrada at nagtatago pa rin si Bato de la Rosa, tagilid na ang pagiging majority ng tropa ni Cayetano and ergo his being Senate President. Diba? Kasi 11-11 na sila on both sides. Holding a plenary session could open Cayetano's leadership to challenge. So, pabor sa kanya kung walang session. Tuesday came, ganun pa rin. Walang umusad na trabaho sa plenaryo kung saan ipinapasa ang mga batas at mga resolusyon. Sabi ni constitutional lawyer Paulo Tamase sa Rappler, labag na sa saligang batas kung aabot pa ng pangatlong araw na walang sesyon sa Senado. Buti na lang hindi na umabot dyan dahil number 3 plot twist, Senator Cheese Escudero showed up at the plenary on Wednesday, making it 12 senators present on the floor. So, umandar ang session. Explain ko further mamaya, but in essence, nagka-quorum na yung then minority plus Cheese since 12 is more than half of 22, which is the number of senators logistically able to attend the session. 24 minus 2 na kasi dahil inkomunikado na sina De La Rosa at Estrada. Escudero says hindi naman daw siya naglilipat kampo. He adds, I am not taking sides. I am taking a stand for the Senate. Hindi na yata maatim ni Cheese na makita yung Senado na nakatiwangwang kaya pumasok na siya sa trabaho. This is not a political contest, dagdag niya dun sa written statement niya. Be that as it may, umayo naman si Cheese nung ideklara ni na former Senate President Tito Soto and his allies na vacant ang lahat ng posisyon, including the top posts and committee leaderships. They installed Win Gatchalian as Senate President pro tempore and acting Senate President. In Latin, pro tempore means for the time being. Bakit acting lang si Gatchalian? Well, because it requires the fixed number 13 of the 24 to elect a Senate President. Malinaw yan sa konstitusyon. The fact was, the proceedings needed a presiding officer and wala naman dun si Cayetano to do the honors. But with the reconstituted quorum, paniwala nung 12 ay may kapangyarihan silang i-declare lahat ng positions as vacant, including the post of Senate President. And even if pro tempore at acting Senate President pa lang si Gatchalian, the reality is, he has the larger number now than Cayetano. Pero syempre hindi payag si Cayetano. To his mind, he is still Senate President. Right, so Gatchalian gave orders to the Senate staff to work from home the next day, Thursday. Sabi niya it's to preserve their neutrality. Cayetano issued different orders. The Senate premises were to remain fully open and staff were to render full cooperation and assistance. So why was Thursday so crucial? Because of this next story. Number 2, Thursday's so-called Blue Ribbon Committee hearing with the 18 so-called ex-Marines na naghatid umano ng male-maleta ng pera sa ilang politiko. Umaga pa lang agawan base na ang drama sa Senado. In a press conference, ipinaliwanag ni Gatchalian ang legal justification ng power takeover ng bloc niya. May precedent daw ang pagbabago ng quorum number. Yan yung Avellino Doctrine of 1949. Ayon sa Supreme Court decision noon, hindi nakabase ang quorum sa kung ilan ng elected senators or all members of the upper house, which is the 24 total head count, kundi sa majority of the House. At ang actual working members ngayon ay 22 na lang. Labas na raw sa quote, coercive jurisdiction ng Senado sina Bato at Jinggoy. In short, hindi na sila makokompel na umattend. Pero dahil sa memo ni Cayetano contradicting Gatchalian's work from home order, naganap ang isang bagay na hindi pa nangyari in recent memory. Ang rogue hearing ng supposed Blue Ribbon Committee headed by Pia Cayetano. Tinawag din itong sham hearing o bogus hearing ng ibang senador. So ano ba yung nangyari dyan sa hearing na yan? Pasok na yung 18 men claiming to be retired Marines at former staff daw ni former Congressman Zaldico. Sila daw yung mga basurero na tagapag-deliver ng basura o milyon-milyong cash na nakalagay sa mga suitcases. Alam na natin yan before at halos yun din naman ang buod ng testimony nila nitong Thursday, June 4. Pero anong bago? Nag-enumerate sila ng mga so-called witnesses na dineliveran daw nila ng mga maleta at lumawak yung listahan. It's mostly anti-Duterte personalities. Si Laila de Lima na hindi pa congresswoman dun sa time na sinasabi nila ay hinatiran siya ng maleta. Ang Makabayan Bloc lawmakers. Idinawit din si Tito Soto na hindi naman senador noong 2022 to 2025 when they claimed na hinatiran siya ng kickback. Binanggit din si Senator Erwin Tulfo na party list congressman at the time. Sabi niya, niwala nga raw siyang allocable funds at hindi nag-appear ang pangalan niya sa budget bill o yung General Appropriations Act dun sa mga taon na yon. Pati si Father Flavie Villanueva, ang activist priest na pinarangalan ng Ramon Magsaysay Award dahil sa pagkalinga niya sa drug war families, nabanggit din. Interestingly, hindi nila binanggit this time sina Senators Loren Legarda and Mark Villar, nakasama sa original nilang listahan nung nag-press con sila last February. So legit na hearing ba yung naganap? Sabi ng bagong majority bloc ni Gatchalian, unofficial and unauthorized gathering daw yon. Isang naked grab for power dressed up as inquiry and oversight. Take note, hindi ni livestream or inilagay sa official record ng Senado yung hearing na yon. Who conducted it? The Cayetano siblings, Amy Marcos, Loren Legarda, Robin Padilla, and Rodante Marcoleta. So saan naman nanggaling yung power nila na mag-hearing? Kay Alan Peter? Well, that brings us to the big question. Number 1, sino nga ba ang totoong Senate President? Sabi ni Cayetano, siya pa rin daw ang legitimate, legal, and moral Senate President.
I am still the Senate President, the legitimate, the legal, moral Senate President. It's not about me. It's not about the position. Anytime po, pwede po ako mag-resign, pwede kong ibigay ito sa iba kung may 13. This is about democracy.
So what does that even mean? He keeps saying wala siyang pake sa posisyon, and yet kapit tuko siya sa pwesto niya. This is about democracy? Willing nga siyang itiwangwang ang Senado at mag-cause ng constitutional crisis kung di pa inagaw ng Gatchalian bloc yung majority. If this were about democracy, edi dapat business as usual ang plenaryo regardless of what political wars the members of the Senate are fighting. To the extent that it matters, ni-recognize naman ng Malacanang at ng House of Representatives si Gatchalian as the rightful Senate President. But what is the objective answer? Well, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, which is yung lupon ng lahat ng abogado sa Pilipinas, at yung mga dean ng iba't ibang College of Law dito sa bansa, ay nagsabi na legal and valid yung Quorum of 12 ni Gatchalian nung Miyerkules. May explainer dito ang colleague namin na si Jairo Boliedo. Follow the QR codes to find it sa app namin. Libre lang. In any case, isang high school teacher na ang gumawa ng what appears to be the inevitable step. Tanungin ang Supreme Court. So hihintayin natin ang pasya ng highest legal authority of the land. Ano ba kasi ang saysay ng Senate President? Bakit ba tayo obsessed dito? Well, napipinto ang impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte at ang Senate ang tatayong korteng lilitis sa kanya. Ang Senate President ang magmamaneho ng proceedings. The two Senator Cayetanos are loud and proud Duterte allies. Alan Peter was the one who suggested to remand the articles of impeachment back to the House of Representatives last year, which effectively set off the chain of events that led to the death of that case. Also, let's not forget the Blue Ribbon Committee's probe into flood control corruption. The fact is, mga senador na kaalyado ni Cayetano ang pinangalanan ng mga testigo na sangkot umano sa katiwalian doon. Grupo rin nila yung ayaw pumirma doon sa findings ng Blue Ribbon Committee under Senator Ping Lacson. I mean, come on, let's not gaslight ourselves. Let's leave the mental gymnastics to the legitimate, legal, and moral Senate President. Okay, that's it for this week. See you next week.